for the serious gamer.
Hey, it's Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics. This is our multiplayer novice guide video series, and this is part 5, first game. Here we're going to show you just some basic tips. If this is your first time playing, or you're, one of your first games, and you're trying to sort of grasp the game, this is a video where we're going to show you some tips and strategies so that you can succeed and not get too frustrated. Alright, so we're going to use the weapon selections that you have available to you in the beginning. You either have an assault, an SMG, or a grenadier, which is, I believe, an LMG. Now, for mobility reasons, so you can run like a scared person, because, it can be intimidating at times, I recommend that you use an SMG. It has lightweight, which makes you run faster, and marathon, which allows you to actually run for an infinite amount of time. Plus you have an SMG, which allows you to shoot fairly close if someone comes near you around the corner and surprises you. Now, what I recommend and what I'm kind of doing here is you're going to sort of move to each corner, but don't just keep running around like a crazed idiot, and try to avoid, even though I went through there, try to avoid the center areas. Stick to the perimeter of any map that you're in, no matter what. Stay on the perimeter. The reason being is that it reduces the number of places that an enemy can actually find you or access you. If you run in the interior of any map, you have multiple access points in line of fire that the enemy can actually hit you. Whereas if you stay on the outside, technically you only have possibly 3 areas in front of you and on the sides. If you're on the exact perimeter of each map, you only have the 2 sides that they can come on, and if you're facing one, really there's only 2 that they're going to actually be able to hit you with. Whereas if you're in the center, you have elevated positions, you have the multiple positions, you have forward, back, and the sides. So that tends to get a little bit hairy, and unless you know exactly where you're looking, I would suggest that you avoid it. Now in this game here, you're going to see there's no problem exploring. I mean, go up ladders, go into buildings, check things out, see how you can access things. I mean, the best way for you to do that, honestly, is to go through map walkthroughs. Go in a private match and take a look. We're actually going to put a multiplayer map walkthrough out for everyone. It's not going to show any advanced super camping spots. We're going to actually see if our viewers can add to those. It's going to just show you the general layout, where you can go, how to access points. In case you're wondering, how did that guy get there? I'm getting frustrated. I don't know how to get there. I don't know any of the vantage points or whatever, like higher ground and that sort of thing. Now you'll notice there's nothing wrong. You're going to hear a lot of people whine about camping. I'm not suggesting that you camp, but stick and move. Go to a certain point, move up there, check the corners before you move. Look and try and identify. See that corner there? So, I mean, yeah, okay, I got pegged there. I mean, you're going to die. The bottom line is, when you first start this game, unless you're some sort of gifted miracle to gaming, you are going to die. Accept it. Don't get frustrated by it. It's part of the game. Deal with it. But try and move to a point. Look for, when you get to this corner here, check straight forward. Listen to see if you can hear anyone. Move cautiously, and if you hear someone, I mean, try your knife, which is pressing down on your control button. Depending on if you have Xbox 360 or PS3, just look up the controls for a melee attack, and that's what you want to try and do in those cases when they're really close. Don't bother firing. It's silent, and it will help you out a lot. Like I said, explore places. Go up stairs. Go into buildings. Take a look. But be careful around corners. Don't just run around aimlessly. Look around corners. When you get to a corner point, take a look. Stop for a second and take a look. People may accuse you of camping. You're not really camping. If you're camping for like 5 seconds, who cares? The objective here is to kill more and get killed less. And in that case here, as I'm showing you, is deathmatch. I suggest that you go into deathmatch. It's a little easier. It'll give you high action. It'll give you motivation. It'll be more exciting for you, but it will also allow you to have the advantage of your team to back you up. So when your team's engaging in firefights, you can see where the enemy is. They're going to be firing. They're going to be glowing as red dots. So on the map, you'll see that there's actually, when the enemy fires, unless they have a silencer, they show up as a red dot on the map. So you know that the enemy's there. You also know where your teammates are by the green triangles on the map. So you know where they are. And sometimes it's not too bad to get away from the group. if you get away from the group, the enemy may very well spawn where you are. You want this. You may die, yes, but you want this because it gives you exposure and it gives you experience to engage in the enemy. It allows you to hone your skills, improve your skills, and how fast you react. It's the only way you're going to get better. Avoiding people and camping in a corner and hoping that someone runs by will not help you become a good player. Try to avoid it. We're going to put a series out, and there's nothing wrong with camping. I don't care what anyone says. Camping is a strategy, but you have to do it intelligently. You can't just stay in the same spot. If you kill someone and stay in the same spot, that's bad camping. If you kill someone, change positions, and then re-engage, you're actually doing an effective strategy. Now, we'll cover that later in another series, which will anger a lot of run and gunners, which I personally find very amusing, but nonetheless. So if you're going to kill, make sure you move. Number one, the individual that you killed, wherever you are, knows where you killed them and likely will hunt you and compensate for where you killed them. So that's why it's important that even if you are going to stay in the same room or building, change positions where you were. If you kill them in a certain corner, even go opposite corner. The first place that person's going to look, it's just natural and human nature, is they're going to look in that corner where they got killed. If you're in an opposite corner, that gives you another opportunity to kill them. But don't assume that if you killed him in an opposite corner that he's not going to throw a frag in and just try and smoke the crap out of you. Once you make a couple of kills in a general area, try and get out of there. Don't stay in the same area. Number one, it's a bad habit to get into just solid camping. There's nothing wrong with strategic camping, but just camping in general, you want to develop, accuracy. You want to develop your skills to actually engage enemies on the run, because in other game types, you're going to need that. And you're only going to hurt yourself if you camp. So try not to do that. Again, move, stay on the perimeter. When you kill, and I know I've said this before, when you kill from a certain location, do not stay there. Okay? If you're looking down this area, say this area here, and I was killing someone, okay, that guy's there. I mean, I'm going to look for him there if I'm actually in the area. But if not, I'm not going to bother, because he could have likely changed positions, and that's going to be dangerous to me. And I'm going to assume, again, human nature, that he's in that corner, and he may very well not be. You get used to going prone. If someone's shooting at you, go prone. Prone is when you're lying down on the ground. It is a great way. It reduces the target area that someone can shoot at you. Okay? Even if you're not going to shoot back, go prone and try and run away. And this class here, this SMG class, is perfect for that. Because you have marathon and lightweight. I mentioned it before. It allows you to run very, very quickly. So even if you're not as fast as the other players, you want the surprise on them. So that's where your patience around corners and stuff like that will actually pay off. Don't go crazy. That guy, and then notice where he is. So that guy was actually hidden in sort of in between. You're gonna die. Like I just showed you there. I mean, you're gonna get spawned in areas where there's crazy gunfire all over the place. There's grenades. You know what? Such is the game. That's what happens. Don't get angry by it. It happens all the time. You're gonna die in this. Now I'm trying to get that guy because he seemingly is still staying there. That is a stupid thing to do. Yes, he's getting kills and it's a little bit frustrating, but as you can see, as you're coming up here, he's still gonna be there. And if he's still there, I'm taking a different position and killing him, because he's looking at the same area and he doesn't move. Get a couple of kills and move. He could have avoided getting killed there easily and maybe owned my ass again, which would have frustrated me, by simply getting off that ledge and moving farther back, assuming that I was going to try and flank him, and then he would have nailed me again. But, that's a bad camping spot, and that's the example of camping in the same area and not moving. Eventually, you're going to get killed. Whether it's the first time, second time, doesn't matter. You want to avoid that. Try and avoid that. Again, emphasis on the first game or your first few games. Stay on the perimeter. Try to avoid that inner area. There's a lot of sight lines. A lot of enemies can see you from elevated positions. People in transition. People running in between houses. That sort of thing there. You want to try and avoid that. In the end, I did okay. I had a positive kill-death ratio, which is what you want. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. For more strategies and tactics on Modern Warfare 2, visit NextGenTactics.com.